All right. It's Money Matters. Smart Finances by TC. And we're back on K1NGradio.com. It's your Tuesday, 9:30, 11 p.m. dose of finance and money and entrepreneurship. So it's my plum pleasing pleasure to be back again and to share some information with you that's dear and close to me, and to let you know just how passionate I am about giving this information away so people can use it to bless themselves, bless their families, bless their community. Again, very special time in my life right now. We're laying my grandmother to rest this week. So this show, like last week's show, is dedicated to her. So we're going to start off this Money Matter Tuesday on King Radio, and we'll do something different today. What I want to focus on today is making sure that you get the full picture from start to finish. So as I talked last week, I talked about how there's a company that I partner with, I align with, called Maxis 2000, and they're the personal financial success company. And the reason I align Smart Finances by TC with them is because they have a system, a turnkey system that they've been using since 1995. They have a turnkey system that's full of tools and full of videos and all the things that's needed for a person to truly execute their financial plan, for a person to fully understand the tax laws and benefits that they have access to that can have a major impact on their life and on their finances. And a lot of it is centered around cash flow. And people need more cash flow and better strategies in order to really maximize this capitalist society here in America. So that is what I'm going to utilize during this show to deliver the information. So this show is going to be totally dedicated to that money machine that I call my econ, the personal financial success company. So, we're going to take breaks and come back in between, a little music in between, then come back and pick up where we left off. So I'm going to start now with just giving you an overview of what we do with the tools that's provided by this particular company. So as you're watching this live, you'll see me move through these slides and take notes. At some point, if not tonight, definitely during future shows, we're going to open it up and have callers call in and get feedback. Get feedback for the information they saw. Get feedback on the information they've been using, or sort of like a testimonial, the pros and cons. Did it really help? Were we able to really help you adjust your W-4 and really help you put more money back in your pocket? And, like I said, this show and the information we give you is actionable. We talk about putting money back in people's paycheck. We're going to actually do it, and then we want our folks to come back on and talk about it. When we talk about giving people videos that's going to show them how to improve their credit, we want them to use these tools and then come back on and talk about it. So my econ, like I was telling you, again, is the personal financial success company, and my econ is short for my economy. Why? Because like I said to you last show, all of you are CEOs. You are the CEO of your economy. All of you have value. All of you are wonderful, and you're talented and gifted. And with those gifts comes results. With those gifts come responsibility. So we're focused on educating, giving people everything that we know that can bless them, that can help them. And then that empowers them. That empowers you to not only take advantage of that information, but then be able to share it also with your friends and your family and your community. So my econ is short for my economy, so everyone starts focusing on their economy, the things that you have control over. You have no control over Russia. You have no control over the UK. You have no control over the U.S. economy, but you have 100% control of yours. And that's the main focus of this company here, MyEcon. Let me share a little more information with you about the company. It's a 13-year-old, debt-free, technology-driven company that's based in Atlanta, Georgia. And unlike many companies, they don't tout about, how much money they've made. They're a $150 million company. They've done $1.2 billion. Now, that's not important because you cannot spend any of the company's money. They're not going to talk about the company has a jet. It doesn't, but or Bentleys or all this because you can't ride in any of them. Instead, what the company focuses on is keeping track of how they've been able to help others benefit off the information, keeping score on how other households and other families have grown. So in the past few years, the company has helped families and individuals cash flow over $400 million. So put over $400 million of dollars back into their households, back into their paychecks. That's what one of the things the company is most proud about. It's about giving, it's about sharing, it's about helping other people grow and come up. Now, here's the money page when we start talking about personal financial success. I mean, we could spend an hour on this page alone right here. And I think this is where the most eyes get opened is when we start talking about personal financial success. In fact, if you would do a survey with 10 people close to you in your area, 10 coworkers, and you'd ask them a definition of personal financial success, you'd probably get 10 different answers. So what we like to do is when we focus on personal financial success, we like to break it down as follows. Most people have two major objectives. Even if they don't think about it like this, they have two major objectives. The first objective is to have enough cash flow right now to be able to take care of themselves and their family, to be able to take care of their lifestyle, roof over their head, transportation, food, clothes, getting them to school, back from school, helping them grow, recreation, all those things that make up a lifestyle, what we feel should be part of our quality of life. The second objective, so that's money now. Usually the income for that money is typically generated from our labor that we put into our jobs, or labor that we put into our businesses, or a combination of both. The second objective is to be able to have enough money coming in during our retirement years to be able to maintain a quality of life for ourselves and for our families. So I think one of the important things to understand and realize is that the income for that period during the retirement years has to come from assets that we've built during our working years. Now, I don't think that's been made very clear, and assets to what extent, I don't think that's been made very clear either. So we're going to talk about that a little as well. See, so the other thing is retirement has absolutely nothing to do with age. It just depends on how long it takes you to build it. So if you take 40 years to build the assets to take care of you and your family, then okay, it took you 40 years. And that might put you in your 60s, late 50s, or it might even take longer than that. Retirement is once your assets give you the cash flow you need to be able to live the lifestyle you desire, become accustomed to. Now, the challenge comes, what happens in between? What happens from the time when you are just starting out your working career to the time when you reach the point where you want to retire or no longer work but still have enough income coming in to be able to satisfy that lifestyle? Now, it represents to me a target that has not been set, a specific goal that has not been set. So when we tell our children, for example, to go out, get a good education, which is phenomenal because you can never, ever stop learning. And then we tell them, use that education to get a job. And the job's not bad. Job allows people to be able to take care of their family, have some income coming in, have some medical and health benefits. But then while they're working that job, use some of that money to invest into their 401k, retirement accounts, and down the road, that'll be okay. The problem is, down the road isn't specific enough. And down the road doesn't equal retirement. How do I know this? Because you watching right now and listening right now, you have friends and family members and people you know that are 20, 30, 40 plus years down the road, and they're still not retired. So it takes more than advice to go get education, get a job, put money away, and down the road you'll be okay. That's almost as bad if you're from South Florida, you're familiar with South Florida, as someone telling me if I want to go to Weston, they tell me just get on 95 North. And up the road, I'll get to Weston. No, I won't. Up the road, I'll get to Boston before I get to Weston on 95 North. That direction, that guidance isn't enough. So we have to talk about what are specific goals or specific targets that we're trying to get individuals to reach when we give them that strategy called retirement. So here's some scenario. Here's a scenario that we're going to use during tonight's show. We're going to make the assumption that a family can live off of $50,000 a year. So their end game, their retirement comes, and as soon as they reach this, their retirement comes, regardless of their age, once they've built assets big enough to pay them $50,000 a year without them having to work. Now, let's look at it in the framework of putting money into an investment account and that investment account growing to that. How much money would a person that we're giving the advice to go get a good education, use education to get a good job, and then down the road you'll be okay? Well, if down the road equals $50,000 a year coming in off your asset, then you're going to need $625,000 in an investment account, and then that account yields just 8% interest. We're not going to go into the detail whether it's 8%, 6%, 5%, 4%, but for example purposes, so we can map out systematically and visually what has to be done, $625,000 needs to be in that investment account. And that's important because our actions going forward will dictate whether we'll be helping ourselves get to that $625,000 or hindering ourselves from getting to that $625,000 in the investment account. All right? So now, our goal is to build up an investment account during our working years that's going to accumulate up to about $625,000 and is going to pay us the $50,000 a year that we need. That's the plan. Now, first, we understood that most didn't have that plan. Now we do. So going forward, we're armed with a plan, with a destination. Well, now, how feasible is it for us to get that $625,000? Is there a shortage of money out there? Let's talk about that for a minute. So, America, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, bar none, period. It accounts for about 25% of all the world's wealth. So they say right now that it's our net worth in America, our amount of wealth is about $97 trillion. So for that family or that individual who says they want to build an account up to about $625,000 that'll pay them $50,000 a year, that barely scratches the surface. So let me make this bold statement. The reason that millions of Americans have not retired yet has absolutely nothing to do with a shortage of money, because there is no shortage of money in America. It's $97 trillion of wealth, and it's not divided up evenly. How do I know? Because there's over 500 billionaires in America. There's over 10 million millionaires in America. And all that means is there are some folk that understood how to get access to that money in a way that they were able to accumulate millions of dollars or billions of dollars. And the masses aren't following the successful clues of those individuals. See, success leaves clues. And what the average person is doing on a daily basis, monthly basis, annual basis, there are some clues to what that's going to yield them. See, if this is year one going in your working career, there's someone 10 years your senior in that career. And you just have to ask yourself, in 10 years, is that where I want to be? And if not, what is it that I need to do differently? So there's 97 trillion, 500 plus billionaires in America, and 10 million millionaires in America. What are you doing differently? Let's take a look at that. Now, just as I talked about it being over 500 billionaires and 10 million millionaires, some other statistics aren't as positive. They say 80% of Americans struggle financially. And what we got to do is put ego aside, put pride aside, put trying to floss and flex and look like we got to go on the side and be real and look at some numbers. See, struggle is relative. If someone's making $30,000 a year on their job, yet they're spending 34, and they live in paycheck to paycheck plus some, most people would look at that and say it's a struggle. And probably also because that person that's making $30,000 a year is probably not driving a 700 Series Beamer. They may not be living in a $2,500 a month rent condo on South Beach, doing sushi on the weekends and happy hours all the time, golfing every other weekend. So from the outside and people looking at them, they're going to say, yeah, that's a struggle. But I maintain the person that's making $100,000 a year, spending $115,000, even though they're driving a 700 Series vehicle, even though they live in a $2,500 a month rent or mortgage apartment on Miami Beach and doing sushi on the weekends and golfing every other week, that's still a struggle. Paycheck to paycheck is a struggle no matter what the figure is. And because they're both in that same situation, it's quite possible that both individuals at that income spectrum don't have $1,000 in the bank. See, statistics say 69% of the poor middle class, the masses, don't have $1,000 in the bank. Then they go on to say only 4% of the poor middle class, 4%, ever reach the level of financial success or retirement. That's where they have enough income coming off their assets that they built that they do not have to work a day in their life. The rest of their lives, they don't have to work. They have enough cash flow coming in to take care of their lifestyle. So you have to ask yourself, in the wealthiest country in the world, how can there be over 500 plus billionaires, 10 million millionaires, but on the other end of the spectrum, 80% of the population, 80%, the poor, the middle class, struggle financially? What is it that's keeping them from hitting their goals? Or what is it from keeping them from understanding what the goal should be? So we're going to look at some obstacles that I believe that are hindering that process. Clearly, financial literacy is a part of that problem. See, we clearly respect education in America because the first thing we tell someone they need to do if they want to succeed is go get educated. But I don't believe we respect that knowledge and education is subject specific. See, we would never, ever expect a surgeon to go into a courtroom and try a case. And we would never question his intelligence or his knowledge because he wasn't able to do that. We would never expect an attorney to suit up, get on the back of a fire engine, and go help put out a 5-alarm fire. Even though that attorney is highly educated, he or she wasn't given the skills, the knowledge to be able to fight a 5-alarm fire. And we respect that. And we would never assume we could do that if we were the attorney. But for some reason, whether we're the attorney, the doctor, the firefighter, a teacher, we expect that we're supposed to have some prowess when it comes to finance and money. We're supposed to be on point when it comes to investing. No, we have to take time and get the specific knowledge when it comes to finance and money. So that's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about first, what are the obstacles that are keeping the masses from ever being able to reach financial success, reaching their goals via their investments in the 401ks, 403bs, and TSPs. So we're going to take a little break. We're going to get a little music during this break, some articles coming on, some advertisements coming on. We're going to display some artists. And then when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of these obstacles that are keeping folks from being successful. Be back in a little bit. All right, all right, all right. Money matters. The boy TC, K1NG Radio. All right, we're back, and we're going to pick up where we left off. Yep, personal financial success. Let's talk about what are the obstacles that are keeping millions of Americans from reaching their financial goals. Okay, so first, let's talk about these 4 obstacles. Now, these 4 obstacles affect you whether you're poor, middle class, or wealthy. You have to address them because they are at your money. See, one of the things I want to repeat multiple times over this program is that your dollars have value. And everybody is trying to come at you for your dollars as cheaply, as inexpensively, as least cost or effort to them as possible. And outside forces, banks, retailers, they prey on financial ignorance. They prey on the lack of financial literacy. They prey on people not knowing very much about finance and money to get their money. So these obstacles affect everyone, but how you address them determines your financial prowess, determines if you're going to reach your financial goals. The first obstacle is limited income and inflation. So limited income and inflation. Now, why is inflation so important? See, inflation is how we measure the cost of living. So groceries go up every year. The price of gasoline goes up. Rent on the leased apartment that you're renting goes up. That lease goes up every single year. So we measure the cost of living by inflation. That's how we measure it. So why inflation is such an important factor, and it does truly affect everyone, because if you go to the grocery store and the price of vegetable goes up, it doesn't matter whether you're poor, middle class, or wealthy, you're going to pay the higher price for your vegetables. You're going to pay your higher price for your Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. Okay? So everyone's affected by inflation. But how you deal with it is important. So for the working class, it's very important that you understand inflation is in play and how it affects you. See, let's talk about someone making $50,000 a year, for an example. Well, in 2017, your $50,000 a year took you so far with respect to groceries, gasoline, travel, meals, entertainment, taking care of your family. It took you but so far, right? Well, in 2018, that same $50,000 is not going to take you as far because you have to spend more of it on cost of living, because inflation causes groceries to go up, the cost of gasoline to go up, the cost of food at restaurants to go up, the cost of movie tickets to go up, the cost of airline tickets to go up, the cost of entrance to the amusement parks to go up. So all the things that we're doing as a part of our lifestyle, the cost of living rises. So inflation grows typically 3%. The problem is, if you're a W-2 employee, you know if in the past 1, 2, 3, 4 years you got a 3% pay raise every single year. See, inflation goes up every year. But if your paycheck doesn't go up every year, that's less money you have to help you reach your $625,000 you need in your retirement account to get free. So you have to figure out, how do you get more cash flow to outpace inflation? So if inflation is growing at 3%, how do you get more cash flow so that your income goes up by 3% plus, even if your job doesn't give you a pay raise? See, as a CEO of your economy, it's still your responsibility to outpace inflation. It's not your employer's responsibility for you to outpace inflation. It's your responsibility as a CEO to do that. So limited income and inflation is that first obstacle. And oh, by the way, the wealthy typically have businesses. So if I'm a photographer and inflation grows at 3%, I'm raising my prices to do weddings this year up 5%. So I'm able to raise my prices to outpace inflation. So grocery stores do that. Trucking companies do that. You know, so businesses have the ability to outpace it by raising prices. Employees are limited to their employer giving them pay raises. And when that doesn't happen, they don't understand that they are the CEOs and their responsibility for making that happen, even though the employer didn't. Second, so let's frame it. Inflation is causing you to spend more of the money to buy the same things you bought last year, less buying power. Next, the second obstacle is taxes. See, if you're watching, if you're listening, you just got paid, right? When you got your check, a third of it was removed before you got it. That's taxes. So now you got less buying power because of inflation, and now Uncle Sam took a third of your money. So now with that third, with 2/3 of the money, you still got to do 100% pay for 100% of your lifestyle. So in order to keep up, you now have to use credit cards and go into debt. Now, let's frame that for the person who just got a job making $50,000 a year. So they're happy, they signed a contract, they just filled out all the new hire paperwork, boom, they making 50 G's. Well, they now go out and buy a car based on that 50,000. They get the apartment or condo based on the 50,000. They get the iPhone whatever based on the 50,000. They now plan their happy hours, holler at their buddies, talking about I'm gonna golf with you next weekend, based on that 50,000. But you didn't hear me when I said taxes take a third of your income. So he only has 35, but he's basing his whole lifestyle on 50. That's why he has to use the credit cards to make up that 1/3. So therefore, the interest that he's now paying on that money that he borrowed is now taking more of his cash flow. Inflation is causing him to spend more of his cash flow. Taxes taking a third of his cash flow off the top. Then interest on the debt that's accumulated because of lifestyle outpacing the pay takes up so much of his cash flow. The fourth obstacle is created. That's inadequate investing and savings. Now, let's talk about just how important that is. See, if you got less money to put in there, how do you plan on getting to $625,000 in your investment account when those first three obstacles are taking all your money? See, if you didn't learn when you were in middle school and you didn't hear mom and dad at the kitchen table or the coffee table talking about finance and money and talking about how debt is robbing them of their dollars, then you don't know that you'd be better off getting a $3,000 car cash for $3,000 than getting a car note. And then you definitely would know better that once that car was paid off, not to get another one, because guess what? The $200 that's going to that new car could have been going to the $625,000. See, here's just some numbers so you'll get a feel how this deal works, how compound interest and things you don't know about money can hurt you. If a person put $500 a month away in, say, a retirement account, an investment product, and that investment paid them 8% annually, and they did that for 20 years, $500 a month for 20 years at 8%, they'd end up with $294,000 in their retirement account after 20 years. That's not $625,000. Now you remember, inflation caused them to spend more, taxes took a third. Because of their lifestyle, interest they're paying now on that debt took up almost the rest, and now they have no money to put in investments. How do you get to that 625? This is why giving that person the full picture is so important. See, just telling them put money in your retirement account and down the road you'll be okay. Down the road will never come, like it's never come for tens of millions of people, because they didn't understand these obstacles sucking up all their cash flow. They didn't understand compound interest. In other words, the amount of money they are putting in their investment account, how much is it going to be in 20 years when they decide they think they want to retire? So it's very important, even more so, to learn about finance and money when it comes to you getting to your goals and your destination. Now, those are four obstacles: inflation, high taxes, debt, and inadequate savings investing. Now, there is a fifth one. There's a fifth bandit that's robbing the masses of their financial success, that's robbing the masses of their wealth and their legacy. and their grandbaby's legacy. And that fifth one is you. The fifth one is the masses allowing themselves to get suckered out of their valuable dollars, allowing themselves to be continually, generation after generation, trained to a free will give up their dollars with vigor and excitement and enthusiasm. See, there was a scientist, Pavlov, and he did this experiment where he trained some dogs. He'd feed them, then he'd ring a bell, feed them, then he'd ring a bell, feed them. Then every time he'd ring that bell, those dogs came running, ready to eat. Well, our parents, our grandparents have helped the retailers, have helped the capitalists train generations to give up their money voluntarily and with vigor every time they hear the word holiday. It's a trigger to run and give up their money. Every time they hear the word sale, it's a trigger that causes them to rush and run and give up their money. See, no one told you on Valentine's Day, no one told the masses in America on Valentine's Day to go spend $19.6 billion on February 4th, 2018. It's the trigger of sale, of holiday, that triggered Americans to spend $19.6 billion in one day. That's $19.6 billion of someone's dollars that got transferred to someone else that's going to use those dollars to get wealthy. See, no one told millions of Americans for Easter to buy their kids Easter outfits instead of buying their kids a stock, a bond, a CD. It's the trigger that did that. See, that same trigger is going to come at you again come Memorial Day weekend. They're going to have a Memorial Day sale. It's the Memorial Day holiday. They're going to get you when it comes to proms. They're going to get you when it comes to 4th of July, Independence Day sales, Independence Day holiday, and all throughout the year they get you. Back to school sale, back to school. Then they're going to get you with Halloween, the holiday, Halloween sale. Before they hit you with Thanksgiving, they're going to hit you with Black Friday sales, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve. All these are triggers to get your valuable dollars. Now, I know I'm spending a lot of time on it, but it's important that you understand that you control whether your dollars make you money or they make somebody else. You control whether your dollars make you compound interest or they cause you to spend as a result of compound interest, i.e. interest. So you have full control of whether those four obstacles, how they affect your money, and you definitely have control of how that fifth one affects you. And guess what? It's not a race issue. Those commercials come at everybody. It's not a gender issue. Those commercials come at everybody. So you just have to be smart enough not to fall for it. So now, how do you overcome these four obstacles? Easy. More cash flow and better financial strategies. You need both. See, cash flow alone isn't enough. We know people, maybe not personally, but we've read their stories, we watched their videos, the 30 for 30. We read athletes, entertainers, millions of dollars. Cash flow wasn't a problem. They had cash out the yin yang. But unfortunately, because they had an inferior financial strategy, they end up being broke. And then we know those folks that are very good at saving their money. Put it under a pillow, put it in a savings account. Some even invest. But unfortunately, their strategy wasn't enough because it wasn't fueled with enough cash flow to get them where they want to go. See, if someone put $1,000 a month away at 8% for 20 years, they got $598,000. Still not 625, but it's much further down the road, much closer to getting free. See, the wealthy, they can buy wealth. They can buy more wealth. The typical 9-to-5 employee, they have trouble buying more wealth because they don't have enough cash flow going into those investments. See, a wealthy person can put $5,000 a month away. You know, they can just have a child and say, okay, when our child graduates college, we're going to give them a dowry. We're going to give them a trust fund. We're going to give them a lump sum and let them start their business, start their life. See, they can put $5,000 a month away at 8% for 20 years, and they'll have $2.9 million to give to their child. See, so they have the ability to buy some wealth. But unfortunately, the masses don't have enough cash flow to be able to buy that wealth. So we're going to talk about more cash flow, how to attain it, because it's not easy. You know, most people think more cash flow equates to them doing more work, more hours, more labor, another job. You know, because they understand also that if their current employer would give them a pay raise, that might give them some more cash flow. But companies aren't trying to pay more. They're trying to pay less. They're looking at their bottom line. So we're going to take a break here, and then we're going to come back and talk about more cash flow and then the financial strategy called income shifting that MyEcon has helped tens of thousands of people implement that's giving them more cash flow. In the past 4 years, over $400 million of more cash flow shifted back into their households. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and talk about these income streams that's going to help you bring more cash flow in. All right? So let's take a break, enjoy the music, advertisers, and we'll be back in a few. All right. Your boy TC, you're welcome back. Money Matters. Money Matters. Money Matters Tuesday on K1NG Radio, baby. King Radio, we back. Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left off, talking about obtaining personal financial success. In order to do that, we need more cash flow to help overcome those four obstacles: inflation, high taxes, debt, inadequate investing and savings. And I already said that cash flow alone isn't enough. You must combine that with a financial strategy. And so the financial strategy that the system I use, that Smart Finances by TC is empowered by, that Elevate 5000, the movement, is empowered by, is income shifting. So let's look at these cash flow streams. So the 5 new cash flow streams: 1, are correcting tax withholdings; 2, minimizing taxes; 3, generating business income; 4, debt elimination; 5, investing to build passive income. All right, so let's breeze through each of these one by one. So correct tax withholdings. So correct tax withholdings we know is an important one. It's the fun one. The masses can benefit off this one immediately. So remember, I talk a lot about being able to monetize what you learn, being able to take action, giving you actionable information, actionable tools that you can utilize immediately. Well, this is one of them. So we're going to show you how to correctly fill out your W-4 so that you immediately put more cash flow back into your paycheck, back into your household. Now, the IRS has been very helpful to give us some information. So according to the IRS, 80% of employees have too much money withheld from their paychecks for taxes. 80%. So now, it don't matter whether you make $30,000 a year or $150,000 a year. And a lot of times, this is the equalizer. This wipes that ego stuff out. See, here's how, this is one of the ways it wipes that ego stuff out. Whether someone makes $30,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year, ask them how many allowances they have on their W-4. They have a W-4. If they're a W-2 employee making $30,000, $50,000, they have one. Ask them how many allowances. See, you can't be a winner, a player in capitalism, have a W-2 income or W-4, and do not understand allowances and not understand the W-4, how the money moves. Without understanding the W-4, you can't make taxes your ally as opposed to your enemy. So the IRS is telling us, hey, 80% have too much money withheld from their paycheck for taxes. See, if you're listening to this right here, you should be saying, yo, I need to see if I'm getting my money. I need to see if they're taking too much money out of my paycheck. You need to be listening to how I can find that out. How can I find out if they can take too much money out of my paycheck? I need my ends. See, how do you get to your $625,000 if you don't get your paper? Right? If you don't get all you're supposed to get in your paycheck, every paycheck, how do you get there? See, the middle part of this slide says employees lose money. See, let's say you got a $3,600 tax refund. Many of you have already gotten your tax refunds. Let's say you got a $3,600 tax refund. That means they withheld $300 a month extra from your paycheck. Right? Now, if you had that $300, that's $300 more you could have been putting into your investment account to help you get to your $625,000. That's $300 more when you put in your investment account is going to grow interest. And your interest gains interest. And that interest gains interest. And that interest gains interest. That's called compound interest. And in that scenario, it's working for you. But if you don't have that money in your check and you're not putting in your investment account, then you're losing money. You're losing all the interest that it could have made. Not one time, over and over and again for years. If you don't have that $300 in your check, when you go to the grocery store and it's $120 of groceries in your cart and you go to pay and you say, well, I don't want to use my last cash for this, I'm going to throw it on my credit card. Well, guess what? If you didn't pay your credit card off to zero at the next month or the month after that, or the month after that, you just lost money. You know why? Because now you're paying interest on the oranges, the grapes, the bananas, the Captain Crunch and Crunch Berry you bought, the bread you purchased when you spent $120 on groceries. In fact, if you bought those groceries in January of 2017, it's April 2018, and you're still paying interest on them if you hadn't zeroed out your credit cards. That's how you lose money. Your return on investment is negative. Guess what? That's $300. If you didn't use that $300, have it in your check, use that $300 to pay your car off faster, you're losing money. See, when you pay for a car over time, you really have a negative return on your investment. Because let's say you buy a $35,000 car over time via car payments, you're paying over $40,000+ for that car. So you got a negative return. You didn't make money, you lost money. So by not having that money, not paying interest, you're losing money. So you got to keep that money in your paycheck. And we're going to show you how to do that. So the IRS, as well as Smart Finances by TC, powered by MyEcon, says you should maximize your take-home pay. Use it for investing. Use it for debt elimination. Use it for lifestyle. See, suppose you don't have a car. And you kept that $3,000 in your paycheck. Now you can afford to get a car. Even if you just stacked it for 10 months, you can get a car. So use it to invest, debt elimination, and lifestyle. So we'll talk about exactly how to do that, but our system will help you do that. Let's go on to the next one. Next cash flow stream, minimizing taxes. See, this cash flow stream is about turning your lifestyle tax deductible. Turn your lifestyle expenses, the money you're spending anyway, showing you how to make those expenses deductible, using, again, adjusting that W-4 per the IRS guidance, and putting those dollars in your pocket as well. See, you're leaving so much money on the table because of what you don't know. It's hurting you financially. See, because you're not familiar with how to fill out the top part and the bottom part of page 3 as the W-4, you're leaving money on the table, which means you aren't even earning interest on the money you're leaving on the table. It's killing you. So now, minimizing taxes. See, business owners have access to deductions that employees don't. However, some of the same money that employees are spending money on anyway can become tax deductible if they had a business. We're going to show you how to get that done. Now, car and truck expenses. So if you drive, you're spending money on gasoline, you're spending money on insurance, car washes, maintenance, tolls. So you have expenses naturally associated with operating your vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, you use Uber, using public transportation. Well, those same expenses, if you had a business, could become tax deductible. We're going to show you how to get that done. We're going to show you how to get that done throughout the entire year. Now, communications. If you're watching us live on the internet right now, it's quite possible you're watching it via your cell phone. That means you have a form of communications. You may be watching it at home via your computer. That also means you have internet access. Well, if you don't have a business, you have those expenses anyway, but we're going to help you get started with a business with us. And now those same expenses, your cell phone, your internet access, are going to become tax deductible. See, there are over 475 deductions for businesses and self-employed individuals, even those self-employed on a part-time basis. Some of you watching, some of you listening, you travel. Planes, trains, and automobiles, hotels, rental cars. So whether you're traveling locally within your state, say if you live in South Florida, you go to Orlando, to Disney World, or you fly to Vegas, or you're in Pennsylvania and you go to Great Adventure. So, or if you're in the Western PA, you go to Hershey Park. You're out on the West Coast in Orange County, you go to Disneyland. See, if you travel, then those expenses you incur anyway, business or not. But if you have a business, we can now show you using the IRS publications, the tax laws that are in place, how to make those expenses tax deductible. See, if you didn't know it, that's money you're leaving on the table. So I'm explaining to you now that you absolutely can do it. It doesn't matter at this particular moment, you don't know how. That's why we're here to teach you how and teach you how to begin implementing it immediately. Now, here's one for you. I would imagine that a fair percentage of those of you that are watching, a fair percentage of those of you that are listening have children. And the IRS says, via IRS Publication 15, that parents can employ their children. Parents can pay their children up to the age 18 for helping them in their business. And if their business is a sole proprietorship or partnership, there will be no Social Security or Medicare taxes due on the wages that's paid those children. And you heard me say up to the age 18. So yes, a parent can pay their 2-year-old, their 4-year-old, their 7-year-old, their 13-year-old. It's okay you don't know how. It's okay you haven't heard about that before. I'm telling you now that you can, and we're going to teach you using all the IRS publications to show you that you can. And the IRS is so wonderful, via this W-4, the IRS says, hey, give me an estimate of said expenses, car and truck, communications, travel, wages, those expenses that's going to adjust your taxable income, and guess what? We'll give you additional allowances and put that money in your paycheck right now. See, so your lifestyle expenses can equate to more dollars in your paycheck. So these first two cash flow streams, correct tax withholdings, minimizing taxes, those first two cash flow streams put more dollars in your pocket without labor. There's no labor associated with that. That's understanding tax laws and positioning yourself properly. That's how you get that. That's understanding how to properly fill out the top part of the W-4 as well as the bottom part of the W-4. So the top part of the W-4 is the allowances worksheet. The bottom half of the W-4 is the adjustments, additional income worksheet. So we're going to make you fondly familiar with those. And finally, because it's going to equate to more dollars in your paycheck immediately. So you don't have to wait 4 months, 6 months, 4 years to get a degree to get more money in your paycheck. We're going to give it to you right away. All right, so let's go to this third one. Now, the third income stream is so important because your tax dollars is not enough to get you free. We don't help people set up businesses just so they can save on taxes. We help you save on taxes and shift those tax dollars back into your household is because every dollar that you can get your hands on is needed to help you get to that $625,000 in your investment portfolio. Every dollar that you can get your hands on is help needed to get you debt-free as fast as you can. So you don't want to keep getting a car note. You want to pay it off and keep that debt down and use that, what you was spending on the car, to get debt-free faster. Because if you go into your retirement years debt-free, you don't need as much money. See, when most people are asked, how much do you need in order to retire, they're thinking, well, I'm going to have to pay a mortgage. Well, I'm going to have to pay car note or notes. And, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm also going to have credit cards debt that I'm going to have to pay off as well, possibly some educational debt. So we talk about getting debt-free before that time. So what we have here in our business income program, we have a world-class business system, and that system consists of an education membership subscription. And that subscription, that financial education subscription, focuses on financial literacy and entrepreneurship. So our financial education subscription focuses on financial literacy and entrepreneurship. That subscription is our income shifting membership. So remember, the 5 strategies, income shifting. So we have an income shifting membership. Within that membership, it gives you the how-to. That's the income shifting strategy. How do you complete the W-4? How do you fill out the allowances worksheet and the adjustments worksheet correctly to your favor? How do you position yourself to be able to do that? Our income shifting membership allows you to do that. It positions you to do that. You become an independent contractor. We have videos in the membership that tell you step by step how to do what we're talking about. We have live trainings, live webinar trainings. So we have support locally where you are and nationwide. Now, the second component of that membership is the Cash Flow Manager software. See, the IRS only has 2 requirements to be able to qualify for all these deductions and take advantage of these deductions. The first requirement is that you need to keep good records. So businesses keep good records. The second requirement is that you need to operate your business with a profit intent. Well, how do you prove that? You prove that by your activities. What is it that you're doing that is business-like? What do other business owners do? Are you doing those things? Now, the way you prove that is through your records. So good record keeping is how you show that you are conducting yourself in a manner to make a profit, that your intent is to make a profit in your business. And again, you need every dollar you can get your hands on to get to your $625,000, and we're going to help you get those dollars via our income shifting membership. The third component is ID theft protection. And that's important because identity theft is a billion-dollar industry. And as people are improving their credit, you pop up on radar. As people are making more money and spending money on investments, you pop up on people's radars that are looking to victimize people. So it's important that you have a layer of protection in there. So our ID theft protection comes with a $1 million service policy just in case your ID is compromised. So it's a safety valve or safety net there just in case. So it monitors monthly as well. Free and discount legal services. So as your business journey continues, there are going to be questions you have. There are going to be information you need to find out. You're going to start, once you learn about finance and money and real estate investing, you're going to want to start doing creative things. And you're going to need some legal advice to be able to do that in accordance with the law and to be able to do that in a way that you're protected. Smart Money Credit System is another component. See, we're a firm believer of education, and we would much rather teach you how to repair and understand your own credit. So now, one, it will help you understand if you are in a credit situation, how you got into it, and then how to get out of it, and then you get out of it. And now what happens is, now not only are you able to help yourself because you've been educated on how credit works, what are the components of your credit score. You know, it's not just payment history. You know, it's also how you're utilizing your credit. New credit lines, the length, age of your credit. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. We teach you what those factors are. You know, I was talking to someone the other day, and I used an example of you, let's say a young man, that every time he got a flat tire, his dad came and fixed it for him. Every single time he got a flat, his dad would say, all right, I'm coming to take care of it for you. His dad takes care of it. While his dad is fixing it, his dad said, go sit in the car. His dad doesn't even show him how to do it. He just says, go sit in the car, I'll take care of it for you. Well, now, this young man is off at college, and, he might even be traveling home from college. He live in Miami, but he's up in Jacksonville, traveling home, middle of nowhere. His car breaks down because of a flat tire. And now he's sitting there calling his dad, talking about, Dad, what do I do? Because he didn't learn how to do it. His dad just did it for him. And that's the situation that millions of people they find themselves in a credit situation. They now want to buy a house soon. They now want to get better interest when they're starting to buy cars and things like that and get credit cards with lower interest rates. And they need to get out of their current credit situation. And they say, do it for me. And they never learn what caused them to get in that problem. And then you have millions of people out there anyway that just don't want to pay someone to do what they can do themselves. The only reason more people aren't repairing their own credit, the only reason more people are keeping out of credit is because of education, learning what it is and how to take care of it. And there's no such thing as someone doing it faster. There's certain time frames that are out of your control. Like if there's an item on your credit report that needs to get disputed, once you identify it or someone else identify it, once they send the letter or once you send the letter, the agency got 30 days to respond. So whether you sent the letter or someone else sends the letter, there's still 30 days. So that illusion that someone else is going to do it faster is just that, an illusion. So our membership is going to give you a 26-volume video tape series that's going to teach you step by step everything you need to know about credit, including how to build stellar credit for yourself. So this is a tool for someone who says, I want to learn how to do it myself. Once you're educated, you now can use that information to help yourself. But more importantly than yourself, you're now positioned to make sure your children have that credit conversation with you. And you can give them knowledgeable information, intelligible information, valuable information that'll keep them from being victimized when they're at the airport or on their way to school while someone offers them a credit card, or in the cafeteria at their school. Your nieces, your nephews, your friends, other family members, you will have the knowledge and tools to help them. Discount travel and corporate perks is the last element of our income shifting membership. And that's just perks and travel discounts that come along with the membership. It's added value to that membership. Now, the beautiful thing about our income shifting membership in our business system is the concept of income shifting. See, so income shifting involves shifting any and all dollars you can back into your household, back into your finances as a CEO. Now, there are millions of Americans that on a monthly basis, an annual basis, spend money on education, whether it's getting a real estate license, a mortgage broker license, an insurance agent license, whether it's being able to do hair or facials, and excuse me for not using the correct terminology for it, but people are always spending money on education. People are looking to go back and get associate's degrees, technical degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, MDs, JDs. So they're always looking to get more education. They're spending dollars on education, billions. So your income shifting membership gives you the ability to shift income, education dollars back into your economy, back into your household, back into your business. See, because now we can show someone how they can get a financial education subscription or membership that immediately helps them increase their cash flow. See, your education system that we're providing them allows them to monetize the information right away. See, if you go to a real estate course, you're talking 10 weeks before you can then go out to attempt to sell a property to monetize what you spent hundreds of dollars on to learn. See, you don't have to wait 4 years to get a bachelor's degree to then be able to monetize that piece of paper you got when you got that degree by getting a job and then making some money. Nah. Once you get your membership with us, we're going to help you adjust both sections of W-4, so your next paycheck, you monetize what you're learning right now. Then you have the ability to help teach other people. The same thing. See, we're always sharing information. When the Game of Thrones new season's about to start, what time Empire comes on, the Housewives of XYZ. See, we're always sharing information, but none of it results in an increase in your cash flow. But sharing information about income shifting puts more dollars, more cash flow into your household, into your economy as a CEO. Now, it doesn't stop there. See, because when a person gets the membership, they get a personalized website. And the company puts all of their products on each individual's website. So now, what that's doing, that's giving you now the opportunity to shift some retail dollars back into your household. So listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another quick one. We're going to take a short break, another quick break, and then we're going to come down and talk. We're going to talk a little bit about retail dollars being shifted back into your household. And we're going to talk about how some more commissions can be shifted back into your household and why it's so important to use certain principles to increase your cash flow and not to be solely tied to you making every dime you make. You know, why it's solely tied to you killing to eat. How there's some business principles that your membership allows you to begin to take advantage of immediately. So we're going to talk about that as soon as I come back off a short break. All right. So we're going to take this break, enjoy the music. See you in a few. All right. That was a short, quick break. Wanted to get back here and jump back into it. We're on a roll. All right. So now, I want you to think about this. Walmart, are they known for Pampers? Nope. But they sell them. Is Walmart known for being a grocery chain? Nope. But they sell groceries. Are they known for being a sporting goods store? Nope. But they sell them. Are they known to be an optometrist? Sell eyeglasses? Nah, but they sell them. See, you want to have a presence in such that multiple products and services get offered to the masses. And our system gives you the ability to do it in a way that you're not inventorying product. You're not stockpiling product. You're telling people to appoint and press. See, a person goes to Amazon's website, they point and they press. Someone goes to Walmart's website, they point and they press. So not only will you be able to offer someone specific knowledge to finance some money that will increase their take-home pay on their job, but you also have a website that they can go to that literally has access to over 1 million products that they can just point and press and acquire, and you receive commission on it. So we have a powerful retail strategy that gives you the ability to earn commissions off people going to your website and purchasing products and services. See, no matter what they click on, they can read about it, they can watch a video on it, and if they decide that they want it, they can click buy now, get the product shipped directly to them, or download it as a software, and you get paid commission on it. See, you don't want to be known, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. So now, ID theft protection. It comes in your membership, and the membership is designed for associates only, but the general public can purchase ID theft protection from your website, and it'll pay you $2 a month commission. Smart Money Cash Flow, Smart Money Credit System, they can go to your website, read about it, see a small video on it, and spend $99 one time, and now they have the same 26-volume videotape series that you have in your membership. And oh, by the way, you can pay $50 on that. Cash Flow Manager software. See, the cash flow manager software is designed in your membership to help you keep track of all the expenses you need, to help you keep good records. See, that cash flow manager software, you get to use it on your cell phone, tablet, or computer. It allows you to put the who, what, when, and why of your expenses, take a digital image of it, and it keep track of all your expenses item by item, category by category, ongoing for the entire year. Then at the end of the year, that's what you give to your tax professional. So no longer shoebox full of receipts. Half of them you can't read. They faded. Some you lost. You can take a digital image of the receipt. It's documented by category, and all of your expenses are totaled by category as you go. So you know someone that's a realtor, insurance agent, mortgage broker, small business owner. This is an ideal tool. It's more user-friendly and more cost-effective than a QuickBooks. Now, book travel. Summer's going to be coming soon. People are going to be doing all their summer travel. They can go to your website, click on book travel. Now they, via Priceline, book all their travel needs. And guess what? You get paid commission on it. They're already familiar with Priceline, so it's not like you're sending them to, Rainbow Tourist Agency or Travel Agency. No, you're sending them to Priceline.com through your site. They're not asking you what the fares look like in Chicago. They just go, put in their itinerary, get the price from Priceline, and you get paid commission on it. We have nutrition, healthy beverages. See, it doesn't matter whether you're into nutritional supplements. It doesn't matter if you're into coffees and teas. Well, it's a billion-dollar industry. Somebody's into it. You just need to have a way for those somebodies to come buy from you. You now have a presence. The next product you see here, or product categories, are Cashback Mall. Our Cashback Mall has over 1,000 stores. Over 1,000 stores on there. Many of those stores, household names: Walmart, Macy's, Best Buy, BrandsMart, Home Depot, Staples, Toys R Us. Household names, 1,000 stores, over 1 million products. People go to your website, click on the mall, they can purchase from any of those companies. Because they went to your site, the company's going to give the customer cash back. And because they went to your site, you can go commission on whatever they purchase. See, so you now have created multiple income streams via your membership and your website. So the membership itself, by sharing that information, can earn you income. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Every time someone goes to your website, that's going to earn you commission. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in a second. So not only do we educate folk on how they can help themselves, but they can also get compensated on helping other people. See, the universe works in a way that it rewards you not for helping you, it rewards you for helping others. So this gives you the ability to focus on helping others to increase your cash flow. Now, let's go on to the compensation part of it to show you how additional income can be made to help you fuel your investments. See, we already know what the masses have been doing, what we've been taught, and we've taught our kids to do, and our grandkids taught us to do, has not been working in it by itself. So we have to give them alternative ways to complement what they're already doing. And whereas education, through financial education, entrepreneurship is a way to do it. So now, our memberships are on $19.95. So all this stuff I talked about getting set up, the setup fee for your personalized website to get your membership started for 30 days, $19.95. That's it. If you live in South Florida, you know you're not even buying much for $19.95. So that's all it costs to get started. So money's not an issue. It's just mentality and vision. So now, our first leadership position is what we call Executive Vice President. As Executive Vice President, once you get to Executive Vice President by helping two people get memberships and put more money in their pocket. See, our first two cash flow streams typically put an extra $200 to $800 of cash flow back into your household. So now, you're an Executive Vice President. Now you earn up to 100% commission on all those products and services that get purchased off of your website. See, each product has a CV, commissionable value. So as an EVP, you get 100% of that. And now, as you're helping other people set their memberships up, and they're doing it not because they're helping you, they're doing it because they want to put more money in their paycheck via income shifting. Well, the company is going to pay you up to 85% of commissionable sales on other folks' websites that's on your team. Why a team? Because J. Paul Getty said he'd rather earn 1% off 100 people's efforts than 100% off his own. See, if you're only one earning your income, when you stop working, your income stops. See, if you got to kill to eat, if you don't kill, you don't eat. So you have to build a team. And here, I always believe, and I tell people, success leaves clues. So to realize or come to the conclusion that building a team is important, all you have to do is say, who do you know that you identify with, I should say, as being wealthy, financially independent, financially successful? And do you got to ask yourself, do they got a team? Or do they do it all by themselves? See, the Oprah built Harpo Enterprises all by herself. Did Zuckerberg build Facebook all by himself? Does Mark Cuban build his companies all by himself? No, they all had teams. But think of the strategy that we're teaching our young folk. Go out, get a good education. Like I said, you can't ever stop learning. Use that education, get you a job, work hard, keep your nose clean, invest in your 401k, and down the road you'll be okay. That sounds like a lonely venture, all by themselves. We haven't even taught them the team concept. But everyone around us that's winning, everyone around us that's wealthy, financially independent, those billionaires, those 10 million millionaires, they have teams. So you have to start building a team. So you not only get paid commission off of purchase off of your websites, but you get paid commission off of websites of those folks that you've helped income shift, that you've helped get those memberships. And guess what? As an executive vice president, you now start building what we call your base shop. Every time you help someone enroll in a membership as an executive vice president, the company gives you a $35 referral fee. So that person spends $19.95 to set their membership up, and the company pays you $35. And now that person's in your base shop. We're helping them shift dollars back into their paycheck, helping them properly adjust their W-4. Now they're going to start sharing it with people they know, their neighbors, their friends, their church members. In your base shop, as they help someone, you're going to get a $25 referral fee for that being done indirectly. You didn't do it, but indirectly because you brought that business in. So imagine 5, 10 new memberships a week in your base shop. That's $350, $250 a week. Imagine 20, 30, 40 a month in your base shop. So now you're earning additional cash flow, additional over the top what you're earning from people buying from your website and your team's websites. You're earning additional cash flow as you share the information with people and help them position themselves to get more dollars. And as people in your team share the information with people to help them get the knowledge they need to bring in more dollars for their strategy. Finally, and the most significant piece of it is this: what you're building in your retirement accounts ultimately is passive income, is residual income. Because once you reach your 625 or whatever your number may end up being, and you start getting interest off of that number, that's the residual income. That's what you want to have, income coming in that you're not working for. Well, guess what? As you're helping people use income shifting, helping people shift dollars back into their paycheck, well, guess what? The company's giving you monthly commissions or residual income on all of those memberships on your team. So now imagine earning $5 to $10 every single month on every active income shifting membership on your team. You got 100 of them? You got 1,000 of them? $5 to $10 a month on each one? Now you're starting to build significant monthly residual income that you now can use to put into your 401k, put into your retirement plan. You can use to purchase rental property. You can use to get debt free. Cash flow and financial strategy overcomes those obstacles and help you hit the goal of financial success. Let's go on. So the first 3, correct tax withholdings, minimizing taxes, and building business income. The fourth one, pretty simple. We're taking some of that cash flow from the first 3, and we're accelerating our debt elimination. See, the faster you get rid of debt, the more interest on that debt you save. So in this scenario here, someone has a $17,000 balance on their car loan. The car payment is $545 a month. We add extra $1,000 of that, send $1,545 a month to the bank, and boom, in 12 months that car note is paid off. Now you got $1,545 of cash flow. Now we got a Visa in this example, $8,000 balance. Minimum payment was $200 a month. At $200 a month, it takes 78 months to pay that balance off. But when we add the $1,545 to it, now seeing the bank $1,745 every month for 5 months, now that $8,000 balance is paid off. Boom, debt stacking. Now you got $1,745 of cash flow. In this scenario, we have a $450,000 mortgage. The mortgage payment is $2,800. Now, we're going to add that $1,745 to that $2,800, a new mortgage payment of $4,545, sending it every single month. 100 months later, the mortgage is paid off. 100% debt-free in 117 months. And you have $4,545 of cash flow. Now, in 117 months, you would have paid off $475,000 of debt. But more importantly, the bigger number is because you paid it off early, you would have saved over $703,000 in interest payments. So now let's get to the fifth one. So every time you pay off a debt, you increase your cash flow. The fifth and final cash flow stream is investing to build passive income. See, so in this example, we take that entire $4,545 we invested. You might take some of it and invest it. In this example, we've taken all of it. We invested at 8%, and in 10 years, you got over $831,000. In 15 years, you'd have a $1.2 million. Now, some people, depending on where they are in their careers, but depending on where they are in their risk tolerance, instead of investing in the market, they might say, okay, that $45,45, every 6 months, I'm taking $27,000, and I'm buying a rental property, the down payment on the rental property. That's 2 rental properties a year. In 10 years, that's 20 rental properties. See, what happens in 20 years? 10 years, you got 20 rental properties. Each of those rental properties give you an extra $250 of cash flow. Well, guess what? That's $5,000 a month residual income right there. Over and above what your business is still bringing in for you. It sounds like you're a whole lot closer to financial independence, a whole lot closer to being retired. Now, here's all you need to do. All you need to do is you need to email us. If interested, you email us. We're going to give you our website to go to. You can go to our website, and then you can enroll in our income shifting membership. You're going to get a personalized website. You're going to get our world-class business system. Within your income shifting membership, you're going to get the how-to. So you're going to get the income shifting strategy, the cash flow manager software, identity theft protection, free discount legal services, smart money credit system, discount travel, corporate perks, and man, oh so valuable tax benefits. You're going to get support and training, not just locally, but nationwide. Our national support via recorded webinars, via live webinars, live and local meetings, live and local trainings. And we have them all over the country. So you're not limited to helping people and sharing this information just in your local area. You can bless folks all over the country. See, all I'm going to ask you this is, in any part of this overview, did you learn anything that you didn't know? And what you learned, can someone else benefit off of it, do you think? See, if you believe there are other people in your circle, there are other people you work around, and you know, if you believe that they need to know how to increase their take-home pay, especially when the IRS is saying that 80% of W-2 employees have their forms filled out wrong. If you believe that the people you know and that's in your circle and work around you need to understand how inflation is working against them, need to understand how they're handicapped with letting a third of their income go from high taxes, and the importance of making taxes an ally instead of an enemy. They need to know the importance of getting debt-free. They need to understand that they themselves can get the knowledge and tools they need to build stellar credit, to learn what they need to know about credit. They can get that done themselves. It is no need to pay someone to do what you can do for yourself. So everything that we talked about, this $19.95 one-time startup fee is how you get started. And guess what? That takes care of your membership for the first 30 days. So that means if you only got one paycheck in the month that you started, you're still going to increase your paycheck by $100 to $400, which is significantly higher than that $19.95. After 30 days, to keep your business active, your operating expense for your business is $34.95, which means your next month you're going to shift $200 to $800 back in your paycheck as well, which is far more than that $34.95. So you're investing $19.95 in yourself, in your business as a CEO, and your return on your investment is going to be more than 100, 200 times that. Then every month, $34.95 to keep your business active, to keep learning, keep your videos active, keep your software tracking all your expenses, to keep the support locally and nationwide, and the $200, $800 coming back in your paycheck. So for less than $500, you're able to operate a business locally and nationwide. 100% of the $19.95 and the $34.95 a month is tax deductible. And you're going to get to learn the specifics about finance and money that will change your life forever. And that will empower you to impact the lives of those around you, starting with your family and then those in your circle and beyond. So I hope that I inspired you to want to get more information. I inspired you to want to implement what we're talking in your life, that you'll then be empowered to also help those around you. So definitely take advantage of this, and really all you would need to do is go to K1NGMoneyMatters@gmail.com. So send an email to K1NGMoneyMatters@gmail.com if you're interested in getting a membership, finding out more about the membership, and then we'll get that site to you. You can also call me directly at area code 786-532-4645. Elevate 5,000. We want to elevate 5,000 leaders all across South Florida, thousands of leaders nationwide that can help people adjust their W-4s and get more money in their paycheck, that can help people position themselves so they get tax preferential treatment, that can help people put more money to work for them so they can reach their financial goals. So I thank you for tuning in to Money Matters on K1NG Radio this Tuesday. And I hope you found our show tonight very rewarding, very informative. And I promise always there's going to be actionable information. So you contact me, I can help you fill out your form so you can get more money in your paycheck. See, I can help you set your membership up so now you can pay your children wages. And with those wages, pay for their daycare. With those wages, pay for their groceries. With those wages, pay for their clothes. With those wages, continue to take care of them. You can pay them up to $12,000 a year and get a 100% tax deduction. So in other words, you get paid on your job and you pay your kids first. And then now use that money to take care of them, the same money you was going to spend anyway. So that's just a little bit, just a snapshot of what we do and how we help people through education and entrepreneurship improve their personal finances. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next week on Money Matters with TC, Smart Finances by TC on KingRadio.com, K1NGRadio.com. Thank you again. Take care. Love you.